Hi everyone, Patricia Zagalar here. So with every conflict, every difficult, adverse situation, there are four questions that we want to be literally asking ourselves. And when we can answer these four questions, that what happens is our ability, literally our capacity to be addressing the conflict, to be dealing with or managing the adversity becomes better. And even better, it feels more fulfilling for us. So, life has all kinds of really tough problems and situations that it throws our way. And so our job is to understand what the energy is in these tough problems so that we can mobilize our best thinking to create the best solutions. So asking and answering these four questions helps us to do just that. So what are the questions? The first is, who's in charge here? Is it me or is it fear? And if you don't like the word fear, that can sometimes feel a little daunting for people, you can absolutely substitute stress, worry, anxiety, right? The point is, who's in charge? Are you in charge, or is all of that negative emotion and tension in charge? And this is really key. That so often, we think we're in charge, but really we're being sort of almost even pulled around by our nose by fear, by stress, by anxiety. And our responses are more towards, what we hope won't happen than what we hope will happen. Right? So we become very reactive in our response, and honestly, we also tend to be more escalated, and so that's either outwardly, which we can think about, just irritation and frustration and anger towards others, but also very frequently it's escalation inwardly, and it's just feeling bad. It's really feeling that worry or that concern or that fear in a way that it inhibits everything that we are about to do next, right? Or it influences it and inhibits our sort of best approach to problem solving. So that's the first question. Who's in charge here? Me or my fear? The second question is, are my behaviors aligned with what I want to have happen? And this is that place of integrity, right? This just puts us, the question helps to put us into the headspace around our own integrity. And notice that this is not typically how we will respond to difficulty, from that place of, how do I want to show up here? What is it I'm really hoping to create? So I get to think about what my values are, but I also get to think about how I am enacting them in creating something. And so, if I want a better, work relationship, what am I actually doing to achieve that? Right. So it is the second question has to do with, are my behaviors aligned with my values, and am I working towards something that ultimately is valuable to be creating? The third question has to do with who do I need to be more connected with? Who do I need support from? And typically in conflict and in adversity, things tend to feel more combative, especially if we have interpersonal conflict, with somebody. The last thing we want to think about is, being more connected to them. But think about it from a different perspective, that this is the individual that I have conflict with. So what would it mean to be more connected? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And literally this brings in the human element, where I get to then focus in on, how do we want to experience this situation together? How do I want to experience this? What do I want to feel? What do you want to feel? What are our needs, at that very interpersonal level, and just Cole's notes to that, right? We all want to feel that we matter. We all want to feel that we make a difference, and we all want to feel that we're worthy. And that never changes, but yet gets usurped when we are in conflict. Like, we forget about that. So a really good question is, how can I be more connected to people? And what would that mean? And then finally, the fourth question is, what are the important conversations that I need to have? That we start to, through the worry, through the anxiety, through the fear, we start to not have the conversations. And so then we're not, able to have that really rich feedback, and that sharing, that openness and sharing with others, so that we are learning about the nature of the issue and the problem and the conflict itself. Right? So what are the relevant conversations that I need to be having? So who's in charge here? Me or fear? Are my behaviors aligning with my values, working towards what it is I ultimately want to create? Who do I need to be connecting with? What does that look like? How do I want to feel? How does another person want to feel? And finally, what is the relevant information I need to be sharing? What are the important conversations I need to be having? Every time I have a conflict, if I've got a really tough situation, I work through each of those, and it provides for me a more stable, clear-headed focus on what I need to do next. Still need to solve that problem, but this sets me up to be able to do that in ways that feel very effective, and frankly feel much, much more fulfilling than allowing fear to kind of drag me over, haul me by the nose places. All right. If you found that useful, I would love to hear from you, and would love to work with you. And you can give me a direct message, or you can check out my website, patriciaz.ca. All right. Until next time, I hope you stay healthy, and I hope you stay sane.